Hey guys, welcome back to Steel City Sports for our first official review of the NFL season, where we're talking about, of course, the Chiefs hosting the Baltimore Ravens. It came down to a big dramatic ending. We had some really big plays in this game. We had some really standout performances from Xavier Worthy, the rookie who had 2 touchdowns in his first NFL game. Isaiah Likely was a stud in this game. On the flip side of that, we had stars like Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. They were very pedestrian in this game. Even Derrick Henry, he got a touchdown in this game, but I did not like how Baltimore utilized him in this game. So I'm going to be talking about all of that in depth in this video. This is going to be a big breakdown of the first game of the NFL season, and I basically have decided to name this game the Game of Flags. That's what this game was to start off this game. I mean, it felt like literally every other play in this game was a flag. It was almost unwatchable at a certain point in time. I felt like the refs were really taking over this game, and I have written in my notes here a couple times, the refs are not fucking around with these formation calls, especially on Baltimore's offensive line to open up this game. They were not having it with Baltimore. They were not letting them off the hook, where it felt like in years prior they would kind of let this go. I don't know if some rule changed at the league office, but there was at least 2 or 3 calls on Baltimore's offensive line where they were like, you're lined up wrong. Your tackles are in the backfield. They were throwing flags. They were not fucking around to open up this game. So Baltimore's opening drive was very sloppy in this game, but Lamar was able to string together some really good plays, and it was capped off by Derrick Henry having a touchdown here. So Derrick Henry was the first touchdown scorer of the NFL season. Didn't do a whole lot else in this game. We're going to talk about that, but yeah, I did not like how Derrick Henry was utilized in this game. At least he was able to get a touchdown here. Obviously Baltimore goes up 7-0. Kansas City, though, they came out the gate just marching down the field on Baltimore. That first drive from the Chiefs honestly just looked effortless, And this is a big thing we talked about last year with the Chiefs in the regular season, is it looked like their offense was kind of stagnant. They obviously turned it around big time in the playoffs, but last year's regular season, especially the start, got off to a slow start, and I feel like Xavier Worthy has really unlocked a different component of this offense with his speed, and that was on full display on that Chiefs first drive because he was the one who got the touchdown in that kind of trick play, whatever you want to call it. They hand it off to him, and he runs it in for his first career touchdown. That was a very explosive play, really fun to watch. Then, Baltimore gets it back. They don't do anything with it. The Chiefs get it back. It looked like it was effortless again. Then Baltimore was actually able to step up with Ojabi, sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, and Kyle Hamilton. They got big stops. So going into the end of the first quarter, we were tied at 7 apiece. The start of the second quarter, we had a massive play from Chris Jones who forced the fumble on Lamar Jackson, where the Chiefs were able to take over here on the Ravens 19. And it looked like the Chiefs were really going to capitalize on this, but Juju Smith-Schuster, recently back with the Chiefs, dropped a big touchdown catch after he got hit, so they have to settle for the field goal. Harrison Butker delivers there, bringing the score to 10-7. So Baltimore gets it back. They're driving down the field. This is where, again, the key point of this game was the penalties, because they were calling penalties in this game that I don't think I've ever seen refs call before. There was one on this drive in particular on Rashad Bateman that got the strange PI call, and I specifically wrote in my notes in here, again, the refs are not fucking around. I don't know if they're going to call every game like this, but the refs are making it clear that they're not being lenient on these type of plays anymore. So it's just really bizarre from the refs here. I know we usually complain about the refs in games like these, but felt like they were literally throwing the flag every other play. The Ravens failed to convert on fourth, basically at the 50-yard line. Big save by Trent McDuffie. I mean, he basically saved the Chiefs here, because I think if he hadn't made that big play on that fourth down conversion, Zay Flowers would have been gone for a touchdown. So that was an incredible play right there, and that's the type of play that shows you why the Chiefs were comfortable with letting L'Jarius Sneed go. They'd obviously love to keep him, but in a salary cap league, they couldn't keep him. And they had the faith in Trent McDuffie to be the number one corner. He stepped up in that moment and showed why. He has the makings of a superstar cornerback, because that was an all-time play right there. The way he read that, stuffed Zay Flowers, not only holding them to get the ball back for the Chiefs, but also stopping a potential touchdown there. So big-time play from Trent McDuffie. I have another note here. Holy fucking flags. The Ravens, Lamar was struggling at this point in the game. I mean, he was good. He was pretty good, I'll say, in the first quarter. And then the fourth quarter, he had his moments. But the two middle quarters of this game, the second and the third quarter, Lamar really, really struggled throwing the ball throughout this game. And I don't know, I don't have the box score, the stats right in front of me right now. I don't know if Lamar's numbers say that he did good in this game, but the eye test told you Lamar Jackson was just not good in this game, flat out. He did good from a rushing standpoint. He had over 100 rushing yards, but purely throwing the ball, Lamar Jackson was atrocious in this game. Like countless just inaccuracies, just playing sloppy. And this obviously led to Justin Tucker missing a 53-yard field goal, which I kind of thought was a layup for Justin Tucker. Maybe Justin Tucker's washed. Just kidding. But always surprising to see him miss one like that. Then the Chiefs get it back. Roquan Smith makes a massive play on that drive where he picks off Patrick Mahomes. Lamar, yet again, like we just said, he wasn't playing very well. He blew another big red zone opportunity, and this time Justin Tucker was able to deliver on a 25-yard field goal, making the score 13-10. This brings us into the third quarter. So to start off this quarter, Madubuike got a roughing call on Mahomes. This basically saved the drive because it was a third down, and this kind of bailed out the Chiefs. By the way, with Madubuike, I can't remember what he changed his name to. You guys will have to let me know. I know he was Justin Madubuike last year, but he has changed his name. You guys will have to let me know what he made his new first name. But yeah, he basically saved the Chiefs' drive here, getting Mahomes there. And the Chiefs, they did this all throughout the second half, and this is obviously what you're supposed to do when you have the lead in the second half, is they pound the ball. They really, really pound the ball with Isaiah Pacheco. They tried the other guy Steele a couple times. He wasn't very good in this game at all. I think, as a matter of fact, it felt like every time that Steele dude touched the ball, it was a loss. So I don't know how good that guy is, but Pacheco was really good in this game. On this drive, he did force his way into the end zone through a Travis Kelce block, which took the Chiefs up 20-10. Then obviously Baltimore gets the ball back, and this is where Lamar had a massive miss. And this was, again, I'm not trying to shit all over Lamar here, but he had a ton of just costly errors in this game. This was another big one to Isaiah Likely that could have easily been a deep ball touchdown if he would have just thrown it more to the left and led it more to Likely into the end zone. But he throws it like way behind them so the defender can just easily bat it down. So another just terrible throw from Lamar Jackson. Then the fourth quarter, though, he kind of makes up for that. I mean, he really makes up for that, because the first play of the fourth quarter, Lamar Jackson basically dances around out of the pocket and throws a bomb 60-yard touchdown to Isaiah Likely. I mean, what an incredible play that was, not only for Lamar, but also Likely, who had to kind of dance around defenders to get into the end zone there. So, that was an incredible play there. So the Chiefs get it back, and Mahomes, this really did bother me for some reason. Mahomes was running for, I believe it was a second down. He was running, and he kind of got tapped by Roquan. Because of his momentum, he kind of fell, so I think it looked a lot worse than it really was. So if you're just watching it in real time, it looked like Roquan Smith just flat out shoved Mahomes onto the ground. But different angles showed he tapped him. So those Chiefs fans in the crowd, fuck off. You guys are fine. You don't need that flag there. The refs have been holding your hands the whole night. You guys are good. That really, really pissed me off with the Chiefs fans there crying about Mahomes getting tapped there and, crying for a flag. So this is where, the Chiefs, they were able to completely take advantage of the Ravens here, because Baltimore completely botched the coverage on this one play to Xavier Worthy, where he got his second touchdown of the game, where Marlon Humphrey's way up on like press coverage on Xavier Worthy. There's no safety deep, so all Xavier Worthy has to do is basically run by Marlon Humphrey, and he's wide open. And you could even see in the replay, like Marlon Humphrey's looking back and like, what the hell's going on? Like he thought there was a safety back there. So the Ravens clearly miscommunicated on that play where Worthy got his second touchdown. So again, big props to Xavier Worthy. He's looking like he's going to be a monster in the NFL. You know, that Tyreek 2.0 having his second touchdown in the game. So then obviously the Ravens get the ball back here. They drive down the field. They get to a big, crucial moment where they go for it on 4th and 1, and that's where they actually use Derrick Henry. For once, they were using Justice Hill a lot. I mean, I don't... Maybe we'll talk about this in other videos, but I don't understand how the Ravens were using Derrick Henry in this game. I mean, it was completely embarrassing how they used Derrick Henry. How he was basically on the sideline for a majority of this game. Justice Hill really got the majority of the snaps at running back here. They used him correctly in this particular instance because they converted a 4th and 1, a big crucial 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter, but I don't get it why Justice Hill. I mean, I guess he's a better pass catcher, but I don't know by how much because he dropped a couple passes in this game. And Derrick Henry, worst comes to worst, is actually a pretty decent blocker for a running back, which is something the Ravens could have really used in this game. So I just don't get what Harbaugh was doing there. So after they converted this big fourth, it leads to Tucker nailing a 32-yard field goal. Brings the score to 27-20. The Chiefs get it back. They're pounding the rock again. Then Mahomes has to throw, I believe, on a third and long. He throws it up. It gets deflected. He actually catches his own pass, and I think it was like 4th and 8, so they punted. So Baltimore actually gets the ball back with 1:50 left on the clock. No timeouts, so it's all on this offense to lead the Ravens down the field here to go either tie up the game or win the game. You know, it was all on the offense here, and they had an incredible play where Lamar Jackson threw an absolute bomb to Rashad Bateman down the field for like a 40-yard pass. It brought the Ravens all the way down to the 10-yard line, and this was the game right here because the Ravens had 3 chances on the 10-yard line to tie this game up, you know, to make it 26-7. And it looked like initially when Likely actually, you know, when we thought Likely had actually made the touchdown there, Harbaugh had his fingers up for 2. So it looked like they were actually going to try to go for 2 and just win this game and just forget overtime. But going back, Lamar Jackson had 3 opportunities at the end of this game on the 10-yard line to win this football game for the Baltimore Ravens, and he ultimately came up short. The first one, he overthrew Isaiah Likely by like 20 feet. You know, he threw it way up in the air. Isaiah Likely almost got like severely injured on that because he had to jump like 8 feet in the air to have a chance at catching that ball. So that was incomplete. The next play, Zay Flowers was wide open in the back of the end zone. Lamar, again, completely misses him by like 5 yards to the left of him. And even Zay Flowers looked pretty frustrated there. And then, obviously, the big final controversial one, he throws it to Likely. I think most of us thought that was a good touchdown. But after we see all the different angles and the reviews, his toe was out of bounds. And you literally cannot be closer. If you're an NBA fan, it reminded me a lot of whenever Kevin Durant hit that infamous 3 we all thought was a 3 in the 2021 finals against Milwaukee. But his toe was just by like an inch on the 3-point line. It didn't count, and the Bucks ended up winning that game. That reminded me a lot of this instance here where Isaiah Likely, you know, it literally could not have been closer with him not getting the touchdown. And that was the game. They rolled it, not a touchdown, and the Chiefs flat out won there 27-20. So, like I said, a phenomenal game. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it all week. You know, I still have a lot to say because I still want to like in-depth break down Lamar's performance, Mahomes' performance, and some of the other stars in this game. But for right now, that's kind of my review, my breakdown of the Chiefs and Ravens. So let me know what you thought about this game down in the comments. I really appreciate you listening. Please like and subscribe.